Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Wednesday practice together. I'm so glad you're here, whether you're going to be seeing this in the future. Isn't that cool? We can time travel. Or if you're going to be live in a couple of minutes. I see that there's somebody out there right now. So I'm Bernadette, and there are practices that we talk about based on what was posted on Sunday mornings. So if you're a new subscriber, welcome. And for those of you who've joined, welcome. If you've been here for a while, and thank you, paid subscribers. I'm so grateful. So we talked about heart with ears for other people. But this time we're talking about being a heart with ears for ourselves, which in my opinion is really important. We have to start with ourselves before we can do it for others. And I know I'm going to speak for myself. I grew up with a lot of emotional chaos in the world, and it's hard to have that compassion sometimes for ourselves when there's a lot of emotions that can be out of control, especially with being bombarded with what's happening in the world outside of our homes, then in our homes, and then extended families, and then friends and work. It's a lot. So one of the things I'd like to offer are these Wednesday practices. And the heart with ears is the practice of listening to you first so that you can be able to listen to others, not to solve, not to fix, not to judge. So we're going to start with that for ourselves. So I'm just so happy that you're here. Please put anything in the comments that you would like more of during our time together. For now, I would like to talk about the 3 pillars that have to do with being a heart with ears, which I discovered from becoming a grief recovery method specialist for any loss, those visible losses and invisible losses. There's going to be more on that for this Sunday's coming up reflection. But for now, I would love this community to really have these 3 pillars that kind of guide where we're at. The practice of being still so that we can be here, meaning in the present moment, not bringing the stuff from our past and not being anxious about the future. And third one, so we can be well, and that being well is really the reconnection of ourselves, starting with clarity, then learning courage, and then the connection, the reconnection to the self of who we are, which was from a long time ago, before the world told us who we should be and how we should be. And so that, to me, is what the true belonging is really about. So, coming back to the heart with ears. In order to be a heart with ears for yourself and for others, you have to practice being still. What? How do we do that? It can be really challenging in a world that tells us to go, 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 go. Welcome, Good News Planet. I'm so happy you're here. So, when is the time that you had a moment to be still? Was it this past week? Today, did you have a moment to be still? Was it the past month? Just take a minute, and there's no judgment. This is where we're saying we're not going to judge ourselves that we have or haven't. It's okay. We're bringing awareness to ourselves. So when I was being in my head and not connecting to the rest of my body, going and going and going and going, I didn't know how to be still because there was nobody in my world that was practicing that except for being on watching TV or scrolling on their phone. That's not even being still. Being still with nothing in our hands. Being still in a space in the place where the shoulders can go down. You can pause. Where are some places and spaces in your life that maybe you can just start small? We don't want to go big, but starting small. Where can you start small to take a moment to be still and to pause? Some places that have worked for me is the pause before a meeting. I was raised Catholic. I'm Irish, Latino Catholic is how I was raised. I don't really say prayers before I eat in that way, but pausing, being still before I even pick up my fork, right? How about for you? Put in the chat. What are some places where you can take a pause to be? Our world demands us to be human doers instead of human beings, returning the essence of who we are. Where are spaces where you're allowed to be? Where are spaces that you can carve out or reclaim being? Another space, maybe my favorite, is nature. Just stepping outside. If you're in an urban environment, still stepping outside, opening your window, maybe holding tea or coffee. How's that? Okay. But you're being, you're not scrolling, you're not reading. Not that these things are bad, it's just coming to noticing your senses, noticing what's the smell in the air. Is it something that's pleasurable? Is it something that is depleting? How about what you're seeing? Is it something that is exciting or inspiring? What do you notice? No judging. You don't need to judge. How about the sounds that you hear? Maybe you don't realize how loud it is. Like, wait a second. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Or, hey, you know what? I actually want more of that kind of sound. Maybe it's the birds. Wait, I heard some birds out there, right? And then the other part too, then if you see, hear, smell, taste, if you're holding your tea, taking a sip, not just, right? What would that do to your world to have a moment of stillness? Doesn't have to be this whole sitting for 20 minutes, that's great too. But I'm saying start small. What would happen if all of us practice being a little bit more still, right? That starts to pull away some of that judgment. We have been judging ourselves because we have been judged our whole life. Our brains are literally wired to judge because of survival, right? Is this safe? Is this not safe? And now as adults, we can start to pull back and take a look at that. So by the noticing, that can happen with the stillness. And the noticing isn't saying this is good, this is bad. It is simply noticing. What do you notice? Taking a piece of art. I'm not an art master. I don't paint. I'm not even saying that. Just go online if you want to. If you have a book, better yet, or go to the library. But a piece of art. Can you be still with the piece of art? You don't have to know anything about it. You don't have to know, like, who's the painter, what century it's in, the lighting, the texture, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to know that. It's more about, can you be with it? I have a friend of mine. Her name is Nazreen. She may be watching this later, and she is an artist. And she just had this one of just fire. And we practice being still with the fire. And what she saw and what I saw was different. But it's inspired a conversation. We weren't doing anything. We weren't making it. We were just being with it. These are little practices that can help with our emotions. Before we can interact and have a healthy relationship with all of our emotions, we first need to pause. We need to be still. I didn't know that for the longest time. Nobody gave me the key to the kingdom for that. And I hope this can help you. So to have that heart, that compassion, and just listen to yourself, the very, very first thing is to be still. I was just thinking about, too, the difference between some kind of different waters we have, which are very healing, right? There's river, there's lake, there's ocean, there's creeks. They all have a different kind of essence about them. Get curious, because that's something so many of us have forgotten, myself, that's what I'm saying, all of us, right? What would it look like if you were still between different bodies of water? I'm on the east coast of New Jersey right now. It is summer here. And if you get a chance where you live to be still by different bodies of water, what do you notice about your body? How does your body react to that? So for myself, I explored this. When I'm still with the ocean, it just brings this like aliveness to me. Like it energizes me. Doesn't mean that's going to be the same thing for you. And that's okay. And that's where we start to tease out the judging and just know, what do you notice? That's it. What do you notice? To notice something is to be still with it, right? When I'm with, there is a place, there's a gorge that's near where I live. It's wonderful. When I am there, my shoulders go down. And the smell is one of my favorite smells with the wet rock. It's fantastic. And when I'm at the lake, I'm calm and I'm at ease and I'm most peaceful. So this community is about getting to know yourself with each other. What is it that would inspire stillness for you? Just play with that between now and next week, and let's see what happens. See what you've discovered. I'm going to put a couple more things in in our community chat. We're going to start to use that. Ooh, community chat. We're going to start to use that. I hope that taking this little bit of stillness, and before you wake up, you open your eyes. Don't grab that phone right away. Just an idea, invitation. Everything's an invitation. There are no shoulds in the true belonging community. Invitation, exploration, curiosity. That's what we're about. Getting curious is something that has been lost as we've adulted. I remember my daughter saying, "Mom, man, adulting's hard." And I said, "Why?" Because there's all these responsibilities. And it's like this. And she's right. That's the human that has to do in order to have a roof over their head, food, clothing, shelter. True belonging is to come back to that curiosity piece. Asking the questions, why is it this way? How do I feel? But starting with you, your place, your space in the world, and coming back to that beingness. Be. How to be you, the essence of you. The stuff that's on top of the essence of you, that's distractions. They're just distractions. But the more we can get this stuff and refine to get back to the essence of ourselves, the beingness, the more connected we can become. The more connected we're with ourselves, the more connected we can be with others. And man, wouldn't that make a nice ripple into this beautiful world of ours? So, my invitation, I would love to hear where and how did you practice stillness for this coming week? Where did you carve some time out? What did you experience? What senses did you explore? Maybe just pick one if it's too much, but at minimum, reclaim some spaces in your daily life, waking up, going to sleep, where you are still before you close your eyes, before you open your eyes. Maybe hand on your heart. Maybe that hug with someone who could use it, but you too. 21 seconds. Can you be still for 21 seconds with another? In that hug of 21 seconds, it can shift and change the chemicals in your brain from sad to glad. Oh, that sounds cheesy, sad, glad, but it really does. There's a chemical reaction, enhancing and chemical. Listen, look at what I'm doing naturally. It needs to start with you. This smile is coming naturally just by giving myself a hug. If you are watching this, I would love to give you a hug if it feels comfortable. This would be for you, and I'd be rubbing your shoulder. You wouldn't have to say anything. Rub your back. And if you're giving me one right now, I'm so grateful. I'll take it. I'll take it. This is what we need. We need to connect. And in that connection, first the stillness. I'm not doing anything. We're just being still with each other. Saying, hey, I can sense your essence. And this is the Italian Bernadette coming out. I'm going to go to Italy someday. I don't know how or when, but I guess I'm Italian. So the essence of you is there. That's the voice that's in your heart that's been pushed down because we've been trained to live in our brain. Being still is the beginning of coming back to you. Because then, as you journey here on the True Belonging community, what's going to happen is your brain, your thoughts, are going to start to hear what's in your heart. We have to create that safe space for ourselves first. So, give yourself a hug for showing up despite everything. And if you put your feet on the ground, allow that ground to hold your feet, hold your body. If you're laying down listening to this, allow the ground to hold you up instead of you pushing yourself down, and soften. When you feel held, you soften. When you soften, safety, vulnerability, courage arrives. Thank you so much for sharing these moments. Good News Planet. I hope this was helpful for you and for anybody else who's going to be watching this in the future and whoever else is on right now. What a gift it is to have you in this world. I look forward to meeting you at the most perfect time. Take good care and keep connecting in the True Belonging community. There's more coming, more connections. It's a great space. You matter. Remember, you matter. Be still, be here, and be well. It's time to reconnect to you. Thank you.